Let's get a little practice doing the Khan Academy exercise, marking data on line plots. So right over here it says Tessa measured the distance from her house to several locations to the nearest half kilometer. All right, and so they have different locations, and it tells us the distance from her house to each of these locations. So from her house to the school is 3.5 kilometers, to the library is 5.5 kilometers, to the park is 2 kilometers, to the movie theater 4 kilometers, to the post office 5.5 kilometers. And then they ask us how many dots should be on a line plot of these measurements. So a line plot, and they have one down here, a line plot, this is literally a number line, and what we do is we put as many dots there are at a certain point in the line. So if we have 2 data points at 5.5, we would put 2 dots right over there. But we'll get to that in a second. But when they're just asking us how many dots should be on a line plot of these measurements, well, we should make a dot for each of these data points. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data points here. So there's 5 data points that I'm going to want to put on my line plot. Then they say create a line plot that shows all of the measurements. Click above the marking on the number line that matches each measurement. Click higher to add more dots above the same marking. Click lower to add fewer dots. So they say that the distance from the school to Tessa's house is 3.5 kilometers. So we would want to put a dot at 3.5. And I do that just by clicking right over there, 3.5. So that's one data point at 3.5, halfway between 3 and 4. Let's do it for the next ones. 5.5, that's the distance from the library to our house. 5.5. Then we have 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers, distance from 2 kilometers was the distance from the park to our house. Then the movie theater is 4 kilometers. I wish you could see it all on one screen. 4 kilometers. And then the post office is also 5.5 kilometers. So you actually have 2 data points at 5.5 kilometers. So right here, I've just constructed a line plot. At different points on the number line, I'm showing how many data points we have. So we have 1 data point at 2 kilometers, 1 at 3.5 kilometers, 1 at 4 kilometers, and 2 at 5.5 kilometers. And notice we said we would have 5 dots, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 for each data point. Let's do this one more time. Well, let's check to make sure we got it right. Now let's do one more. All right. Measure the length of each line to the nearest 1/4 inch to collect data for the line plot below. To make your measurements, drag the ruler on top of the lines. Align the left end of the ruler with the left end of the lines. Then read of the length of each line from the right end of the line. All right. So really I just want to measure. I didn't need to tilt it like that. I just want to measure each of these lines. So this green line right over here looks like it is 6, and this is split into 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like it's 6 3/4. 6 3/4. The green line is 6 3/4 inches long. So we have one data point at 6 3/4. So I'll put that right over there. Then we have the red line is, this is 7 2/4, or 7.5. It's halfway between 7 and 8. So 7 2/4, or 7.5. So halfway between 7 and 8 is right over there. And then finally I have the purple line. The purple line, that is 8 3/4 inches long. Notice I aligned it right at the beginning, right over there, and it goes all the way to 8 and 1, 2, 3 out of the 4, 8 3/4 inches long. So 8 3/4. So there you go. I have one line that was 6 3/4, one line that was 7 2/4, or 7.5, and then one line that's 8 3/4 inches long. Let's check our answer. Let's do one more. This is actually a lot of fun. All right, we got to measure things again. So let's see. The green line is exactly 3 inches long. 3 inches long, so let's plot it right over there. And then we have the red line is exactly, 3 3/4 inches long. 3 3/4, so let's put a dot right over there. And then the purple line is 3 inches long as well. So I have another data point at 3 inches. So I have 2 of the lines were 3 inches, and one of them is 3 3/4. And we're done.